Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Future Hospitality Summit Africa podcast. The podcast that was previously the AHIF podcast, we've now rebranded to FHS Africa. I'm here today with Tadiwos Belete, the Chief Executive Officer and the owner of Kuriftu Resorts. Welcome, Tadiwos, from Ethiopia today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Much appreciated.
It's our pleasure, and looking forward to seeing you in Cape Town in June in a couple of months too. First of all, Tadiwos, just introduce yourself and the business. I know that you didn't start off as a hotelier, so tell us a little bit about your journey into hospitality.
My name is Tadiwos Belete. I'm the CEO and the founder of Boston Partners PLC. That now is one of the leading hospitality industry in Ethiopia. It has been now 20 years since we started the venture, and we are now have about 9 properties in the country, including water parks, adventure parks, and so on and so forth. So that's where we are today. Thank you.
Congratulations on the journey. Tell us a little bit, though, about your journey to it. I understand that in your early life, you moved to the US. How did that obviously you came back home. How did that experience sort of shape your journey into hospitality, and where did you see the opportunity when you got back?
You know, I left Ethiopia when I was 16 as a refugee in Sudan. And I was a housemaid in Sudan for 3 years, been working there. And after I was sponsored by church to come to go to America, then I moved to America and worked in the hospitality sector for a few years in the Westin Hotel. But after that, I started my own business. I have opened a few spas in Boston. Maybe one of the first Black-owned business in Newbury Street, and had about 45 employees working for me in Boston. After that, I wanted to be part of the development of the continent, and I moved back by 2002 to Ethiopia, and I have been working since then. So that's my journey from my childhood to where I am today. But what attracted me to be in the hospitality industry is the gap that was in Ethiopia. Because Ethiopia was, after the Emperor Haile Selassie, there was no new development at the time because the military regime took over. It was a Marxist regime. And after that, the EPDRF, when they took over they overthrow the communist regime, it took about another 10 years. So in the process, we lost almost 50 years of development. When I came back, so I was the first one to start the tourism industry kick back again to be where it is today.
So with that in mind, obviously, Ethiopia was a sort of blank sheet when you came back, and the opportunity was pretty apparent. I'm sure most of the listeners to this podcast have either experienced the event in Ethiopia or know of Ethiopia as a very good market and with huge potential. So with that in mind, with the Kuriftu Resorts, do you intend to just stick to Ethiopia, or do you see potential in taking the brand outwardly from Ethiopia? And where are you looking if that is the case?
You know, from the get-go, when we started this business in Ethiopia, we wanted to be an African brand. As you know, Africa hasn't that the strong brand across the continent. So we now were exploring in Uganda. We just received the land, and we are doing an EIA to finalize. Once we finalize that, we're going to start our first resort outside Ethiopia. We have tried Djibouti, and we also might go back to Djibouti because Djibouti is the closest to Ethiopia, only 45 minutes flight away from Addis Ababa. So whatever we're missing, the blue water, the white sand, and the seafood is there. So we can connect that to the tourism of Ethiopia. Yes, We are planning, and we want to be a brand for Africa.
So with that in mind, obviously with the international brands that are looking at Africa and they're very excited about it, what defines your brand and how would you sort of describe it against the international brands that are there?
It is designed, built, and operated by Africans, first of its kind. And 83% of our staff are the people who actually built the property. So we trained and we transformed the service skills. Then they become a 5-star customer service providers. So our approach to the market is involving the community and having a local design, local furnitures, and keep growing. And our percentage of growth is very high. We started with one small 18 rooms. Now we have over 3,000 employees. And I think it can be an African brand. Recently, we opened an African village that represents all Africa. We built a villa for each African country, decorated accordingly. And we bring chefs from different parts of Africa to celebrate every month with the ambassadors to Selena. We would do intercontinental tourism promotion, intercontinental business introduction to one another. We work with Ethiopian Airlines because Ethiopian Airlines flies over 54 all over Africa. So we package in a different part of Africa. So that will set us apart from different part. It's original concept is original drive.
And is your traditional customer the African too, or are you appealing to international travelers as well? What's your makeup of customer?
Both. For so many years, nobody even paid attention to African clients. Nobody comes to promote in Africa. So our team is organized to promote, to be in every part of Africa, as well as the international fairs to bring anyone who wanted to come to Ethiopia. As you know, Ethiopia has a vast tourism industry. Now the tourism industry is growing, and we're pushing to reclaim back our position in one of the top 5 tourism destinations in Africa.
Obviously, Ethiopia has a huge diaspora, and obviously America's a big area for that because of the reason that you were there and so on. So, have you got your eyes on America? Is this where you end up? What's the vision for the business in the next 5 years, say?
The next 5 years is to expand the Kuriftu brand across Africa as well as the United States, as you said, because we Washington being the capital city of America and has nothing to showcase the African product. And we have started an African village that is endorsed by African Union, has an amazing concept to it. So we like to transport that to the heart of America and maybe the heart of Europe as well. So this is an international brand representing you don't have to go all over Africa. You can come in one place to capture the whole entire Africa. So our vision is to go across Africa, as well as the first one will be in the heart of Washington, D.C., if that's God willing.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And how are you going to afford this? What's the plan? What are you looking for in investment terms? Are you going to do it all yourself? What are you hoping to do to appeal to the investment community?
So far we're doing it on our own, but I think we have to strategize and come up with a plan how to invest in America. We have over 4 million Ethiopian diasporas living across the world. Especially in America, we have the biggest number. We can actually sell a share to all African nations, or we can incorporate each African country to build its own room to promote the country with its own culture, its own tradition. And we can bring chefs from all, Ethiopian Airlines alone has 25 to 30 rooms occupying in Washington, D.C. every single day. So imagine the delegation of Africa. Imagine the airlines are flying to America. Imagine the State Department that handles the African affairs. So much we can do.
It's exciting times. I suppose, Ethiopia's had, when we initially, I'm thinking it's over 10 years ago, we hosted our event in Ethiopia. And since then, it's had its ups and downs, and its current challenges haven't completely abated. How do you navigate that as a hotelier, and what do you think's holding the industry back most in Ethiopia now? What can be done to sort of improve the business on the ground?
In Ethiopia, 20 years ago, there was nothing. There was not even a single destination. As I told you, I reignited the tourism industry in Ethiopia. This is 20 years ago. Today is a different story. 10 years, you have been here, and if you come today, I don't think you will know your way around in Addis Ababa anymore. And the tourism development across Ethiopia has been significantly increased. So many destinations has been built. And I think the main focus should be now is to promote Ethiopia as a destination and to have really key partners in the marketing department, in the marketing Ethiopia. So if we do that, I think we'll be in a position of being one of the leading new business destination in Africa.
You mentioned the airline, and it's so critical to Ethiopia and Africa. But Africa doesn't do itself many favors with visas. How, as a hotelier and obviously an influencer in the local market, what are you trying to do with the government to try and help spread the word of easing visa or making it easier? Or what are you doing actively as a hotelier to support changes?
I think the Ethiopian government these days understood the opportunity, and having the Ethiopian Airlines, and we can reach in every part of the world within in any time at this time. So I think most of the countries are the visas are on arrival, and hopefully in the future it will be much easier. And the infrastructure has been built for the past maybe 10 years. So many hotels, so many resorts, so many properties have been placed. So given a good marketing and easy access to come to Ethiopia, I think Ethiopia will, again, as I told you, will be back one of the top 3 destinations in Africa.
Now, obviously, you want to be seen as this brand for Africa, which I think is great. Where does that? Where are you today in that? Do you think in the journey, and what do you think needs to be done as a brand to get recognized as that African brand? What are you saying to all your staff? What are you saying to your development team, and how are you sort of positioning yourself?
We want to create a strong brand. We have done that in the past 20 years. And we have done it in the pure hospitality, 5-star development of the resorts. And the most challenging part for ours was having skilled manpower to run these properties. So we created our own training center. And for the lower end of the staff, we managed to incorporate the community so they feel it is theirs and they own it. So we have successfully managed that. Now it's time to branch out of Ethiopia and to be a brand of Africa. And the opportunity lies all over Africa. As you know, the strongest branders are not African brands. People come to Africa to visit Africa and to experience the hospitality of Africans and to see an African design, an African artifact, an African uniforms, an African person serving you. So with that in mind, we are now in a position to go anywhere in Africa and invest. And I'm hoping in the coming 5 years, I think we will go minimum of 3 to 5 African countries.
Can you tell us which ones you're targeting, or are you just open to offers? Or
For sure, Djibouti is being very close to Ethiopia and has the package. Like when you go to Kenya to Safari, and you go to Malindi or Mombasa. So Ethiopia has so many east, south, north. The mosaic of the people, the culture, and the new destination that we have developed. But the beach part is not there. So Djibouti will be one of our destination can be packaged together with Ethiopia to enhance the tourism experience what we offer. Uganda, we just took a land in Uganda that becoming the safari part. We took a land now in Makshin Fall, one of the most visited wildlife park in Uganda. So we'll package that ourselves, and soon maybe the gorillas in Uganda as well. So we will come up with a solid plan to expand across Africa.
Now, you talked about the people. Is there a looming threat of well-trained African staff being taken to destinations like Saudi that can pay more? And how would you hold on to do you see that as a threat? How are you holding on to your staff? What do you do to keep them?
Our approach for our human resource department is differently structured. We take almost over 50% of our staff comes from the construction site, the people who actually built the property. Out of that, 80% are women, because every penny comes to their pocket, they will take it home to feed the family. So by doing that, we change their lifestyle completely, 360 degrees of change of lifestyle, from construction worker to an employee of a 5-star hotel. In terms of management, we take people from every year, we hire close to 50 managers from fresh graduates from the universities, and we teach them for the coming 2 to 3 years and assign them in different position and different locations. So by doing this, we are nurturing our own staff with our own style of management, with our own African hospitality, to be an international standard customer service, to meet the international customer service. So we are successfully done that for the last 20 years. We have really managed over 3,000 employees. We design, as I told you, we built our own properties and also operate it. So that's the approach we're going to follow.
Well, I could talk all day to you, Tadiwos, and I don't want to ruin everyone's surprise when you get up on stage in FHS Africa in a few months. But you are coming to the event, and what are you hoping it brings for you as an individual and as a company, and what are you hoping to take back from the experience?
My whole idea of coming to the Cape Town to attend this event is to be recognized as an African brand. And, being in the industry, and I've traveled across Africa, most of the international brands are dominating the African market. But if you look at real African brands, we don't have much. So I want to start that. I want to make it an African brand, and I want to see some support from, financing of these projects to go across Africa, as well as to have a recognition of that the upcoming an African brand will be seen in the coming 5 years to be in the 5 or 6 African countries.
Wonderful. Well, look, I think that's a great way to leave the interview, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And really look forward to meeting you and the team in
same here.
Cape Town.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.